can see from the title, this is going to be a story time of my experience being bald. So I know I touched on the subject a little bit in my very first video, how I shaved my head, but that video was more centered around the products that I used and the things that I did to maintain my hair. And this is kind of going to be the emotional side and like how I've dealt with being bald, because it's definitely been an experience. I remember when I first was about to shave my head, and right after I shaved my head, I went to YouTube and searched, you know, like bald girls or a girl shaving her head, just to kind of find some sort of comfort, because it's shocking when you shave your head. It is shocking. So I remember going there. I mean, this was a long time ago. YouTube wasn't half of what it is now, but I could not find anything. I couldn't find anything. I couldn't find any girls talking about it, or nothing to find comfort in. So I kind of want to talk to you guys kind of about my experience, because if you're thinking about doing it or you have done it, sometimes it's good to have a little bit of support. So if you're interested in my kind of experience, then keep on watching. So in my very first video, I talked about how I initially shaved my head. I did it for a cause. When I first shaved it, I kept it its original color, which is kind of like an orangey brown color. I remember going to work the next day and my boss being like, "What did you do?" People's initial reaction to me was very interesting, because I explained that I had done it for a cause, and everyone was like, "Oh, you know, like, good for you. When are you gonna grow back?" Expecting it to be a phase, expecting me to grow my hair back. I got messages from people I went to high school with that I hadn't talked to being like, "Why did you shave your head?" It's like all of a sudden, because I shaved my head, people needed an explanation as to why. I was able to give it to them because I did shave it for a cause, but after the months went by and I decided to keep my hair like this as a style, people really started to be like, "What are you doing?" After being at work for a while, you know, people's reaction, I worked at a kiosk in the middle of a mall, so there was tons of traffic that walked by me, and everybody who saw me was like, "Oh, what cause did you shave your head for? When did you shave it for a cause?" That was people's reaction to me. After a few months, I decided to keep my hair like this, but people's reaction didn't change. About like 7 or 8 months later is when I finally decided to try bleaching it. On a whim, I just was like, let's see what it looks like, because in the past when I had long hair, I have had blonde hair and I really liked it with my complexion and everything, so I was like, let's try it. So I bleached it, and immediately people's reaction to me changed. Which is weird, but immediately people were like, accepted that this is how I wear my hair, instead of that this is, I just did this, I just shaved my head. Yeah, people all of a sudden were like, "Oh, when did you choose to wear your hair like that?" Instead of, "Oh, you just shaved your head." So having a blonde, I like it better. I like the way it looks. I like the way it looks with my complexion, and I like that it looks more like a style to me, for me personally. It's not necessarily about what other people think, but I do enjoy my hair blonde. I like the way it looks better. I definitely want to try different colors, try different hairstyles, you know, grow it out a bit or shave it all the way down. Like, I'm definitely into trying different things, but this is kind of home base for me. This is what I like. Another thing that, like, I feel like needs to be addressed is people touching my head. People touching people with shaved heads. Does that make sense? It's not just me. Like, I've seen it done to another girl as well. Like, if I am at a restaurant, or I am at a club, or I am at this, that, or the third place, and you feel the need to touch my head, like, can we have a conversation first where you ask me? I'm gonna say no, but you should still ask me. Like, you have no idea how often somebody will just walk by and touch your head. Like, just like, "Love your hair." And you're like, no, 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 no. That makes me extremely uncomfortable. No, that is not socially acceptable. If you see something you want to touch and it is on another human being, let's just all agree to ask them first. Is that so ridiculous? The fact that I even have to talk about this is ridiculous, but it happens all the time. All the time. Another thing that I have had to deal with, I'm only probably going to address this one time on my channel, just once, is the comparison from me to Amber Rose. Here we go. This has been non-stop since I shaved my head. I have come to terms with the fact that people need something to compare something to in order to make sense of it in their mind. So me having a shaved head, the only way a lot of people can make sense of somebody doing something so different is to compare it to somebody else. It has to be that I'm trying to be somebody else. I can't just like this hairstyle on my own. I have had to come to terms with that, and I have started to realize over the years that that is just the way people make sense of it, and I'm okay with it. Any comparison to her, I take as a compliment, because yes, she is stunning, but people don't know my story, people don't know my struggle, people don't know me. I shaved my head 7 years ago, before Amber Rose even had any relevance to my life whatsoever, but this is how people make sense of it in their minds, and I'm okay with that. You know, whatever people have to say to comfort themselves because this is different or to make sense of it, that is totally fine. But the only person that I am trying to be is the best version of Gabrielle that I could be. Another, you know, shocking thing that has happened over the years is my realization that when somebody sees something different, they automatically assume they have a right to give you their opinion on it. So if you are going to shave your head, or you have shaved your head, you know, you need to be prepared. I'm at a place in my life where I'm 100% comfortable with myself, I'm confident, I'm okay, no matter whether you like my hair like this or you don't. But you have to be prepared, because people come up to you on the street and will tell you what they think of your hair. Whether it is bad or good, they don't care. It's like you are doing something so different, and because of that, I have the right to give you my opinion. Sometimes it's rough, sometimes it's not always pretty, and it hurts worse when it's people in your personal life. I would say this happened to me mostly when I was about to get married. Even within my family, his family, everybody. When I announced that I was getting married, the number one question before when I was getting married, if I was excited to get married, you know, any other question about the wedding was, are you going to grow your hair back for the wedding? And why not? Which seemed absolutely ridiculous to me. Like, this is who I am. I've worn my hair like this for most of my adult life. Why would I grow my hair back for my wedding? Like, my husband would be like, what the heck? Like, he's been with me longer bald than he's been with me any other way. Like, it would be so odd for me to grow hair for my wedding, but it's so different for a bride to be bald. So everybody needed to find out if I was going to grow back or not. You know, that's a question on a day-to-day basis anyway, is if I'm going to grow my hair back. I understand it, because this is different. You think that it's a phase. My answer to everybody is, I'm not sure. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, but I like my hair like this, and maybe one day I won't be able to pull it off, so I'll grow it back. I have had moments of missing my hair over the years. You know, there's moments where I have really bad breakouts, or I'm really tired and I don't feel like putting makeup on, and I want to just hide behind hair. Sometimes I don't want all of this in people's faces, you know? You always stand out. If you are bald, or you have really short hair, you have blue hair, you have pink hair, if you do something different, you are going to stand out. People will stare at you and, again, give you their opinion. So sometimes I don't want all this in people's faces, and I do miss having hair in moments, but it passes very quickly. Another thing people assume is that I have all sorts of time in the morning because I no longer have hair, but I've adapted. So, like, do you see this face? It takes me just as long to get ready because I just spend more time on my makeup. Like, instead of half and half, I just spend the whole time on my face. It still takes me an hour to get ready. I mean, I shave it and I bleach it once a week. The rest of the time I don't touch it, but the rest of the time in the morning I'm trying to find an outfit, I'm trying to lay these brows down, I'm trying to cut some people with my wing liner. Like, I'm busy. I'm busy. So amongst the scary part and people's opinions and, you know, the negativity that can come with doing something different, the positivity far outweighs it. You know, the greatest gift that having a shaved head or doing something different has given me is empowering other women to do the same. You know, somehow by me taking a risk, I was able to empower somebody else to do the same, to be who they want to be. It makes me want to cry talking about it, honestly, because there is nothing that makes me more happy than signing on to my YouTube or signing into my Instagram and getting messages and seeing your comments that say, you know, I wanted to shave my head, I was a little bit scared, I started watching your videos, or I went onto your Instagram and I decided to do it. Like, I'm gonna go on a rant really quick. Women don't support women enough. We have such a tendency to bring each other down, to compete with each other. I just want to create a lady tribe of empowerment, of encouragement. And if somehow the things that I talk about, or the things that I do, or the photos that I post can empower somebody else to do what they want to do or be who they want to be, whether that means shaving your head or getting those fake boobs or dyeing your hair blue, dyeing your hair pink, being just whoever you want to be, man, I'm beyond blessed. Let's just create a lady tribe of support for one another. No matter what that means. Let's just stop judging each other, stop comparing each other, and just be there for each other. Anyway, that's a rant. Anyway, guys, I hope this was a little insight into my experience being bald. I hope it helps if you're thinking about doing it, or if you're just doing something different. I encourage you and I support you. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.